Patron, take them away.
And a warm welcome to one and all. If it's your first time here, I'm the big fella Scruff. What I'm trying to do is put trading in the real world. Maybe show you a trick or two along the way. So if that sounds good, grab your coffee and we'll crack on. And why? Because we all know Scruffy likes a coffee. And he does. He likes the charts as well. I also like putting my head on the block. And what do I mean by that is, it means I'll tell you what I'm doing before I do it. It's not signal service or anything like that, but the guys in the Discord, I always try and look after them. And the way that I do it is I believe in leading from the front. So when I was in industry, I was the same. I never asked anybody to do anything I wasn't prepared to do myself. So even though I was top of the tree, I would still clean the toilet. Why? Well, because I'm no different than anybody else. But trading seems to breed this sort of arrogance around the markets. I'm better than you, you're a pebble, all of this sort of thing. Nobody's better than anybody else. Everybody has the same ability. You know, I'm certainly not better than anybody else. You know, I swear I'm gruff, but I tell you the way I see it. And that's the difference in this game. I'll tell you that it's hard, and I'll tell you to quit. Whereas a lot of them will tell you, oh no, it's easy. Follow my system, because I make a gazillion every month. Dear bollocks. I've done this 19 years. I make a good living, you know, a very good living. I prove it every day. I get my head beaten every day, but I'm still here. And you guys have watched my journey over the last sort of 5 years or 6 years, whatever it is that I've been on YouTube, from a very small beginning into where I am now. You know, you see me use prop to buy a house. You know, you saw me use prop to buy a car. You've seen my holidays. And this isn't a case of, oh, look at me. It's a case of, oh, look what is possible. So we're now going to put that to the test. So I'm going to flick over onto this chart, which I am currently in profit. It's just triggered. It's also something that is being pre-called. So I've done the market news here. Today it was solely for the Discord group because there wasn't enough interest in it yesterday for it to be public. Now these videos tell you the news, tell you the strengths, and I tell you what I'm going to trade publicly before I do it. But its effort deserves reward, and that's what I was driving at the beginning of this sort of little video. Everybody just wants quick, easy money. Well, that's why most of you fail. Because you're fucking idiots. Because nothing's easy in this world. You want to put the work in, you get the reward out. It's that simple. You want the reward without the work, you're an arsehole. Fuck off. And I'm saying that because that's genuinely what you are. And that comes from the way I'm spoken to on a daily basis. You know, everybody wants easy money. And then when they don't get it, they kick off. There's no easy money. You try doing that with your employer and see how long you last. I was an employer. You know, I ran a reasonably successful company. I had it for 17 years. So it did the test of time. It wasn't a flash in the pan. Prior to that, I held a very good job in the sort of medical industry. So I put the work in and I did get the reward out. But I knew that. I knew that from a very early age. You know, it was put into me from my gran and my mother. You know, if you want it, you work for it. And if you work hard, good things come. If you're a sponger and a scrounger, nobody wants to know you. And I certainly don't. That's well documented. So there it is there. Well in. Okay. Now, I also update a buyer's sheet. So it goes in there. It's like Q8. I was having a bit of a lie in this morning. Well, not lying this morning. I just didn't have to make a public video because there was no interest in it. So I just had an extra cup of coffee. But I put that in before 8 o'clock, before I start, so they can actually see what the strength is before the video goes up. And I also work out what my bias is So that is there. So 10 to 8 this morning, and we are currently 10 past 8. 10 past 8, 20 minutes ago. We went into market a few minutes ago. So they've got a good heads up of what's going on. And the way this works is very simple. It shows highlighting the product that I mentioned in the video that I'm going to trade. It's telling them what chart to look at, whether to buy it, whether to B trade, A trade, C trade, monitor it, and then what kind of TP to have. Are you going to have an aggressive TP or are you going to have a low TP? Very, very simple. So I do put my head on the block. There's the trade. It's in front of you, live, as we speak. Check the timestamp of this video. It'll be up the day this trade is finished. And you should be able to see it on the bottom. That is there. It's the 8 o'clock candle, 25th of October. So I'm doing this in the moment. I don't believe in retrospective charts. So where's the trade coming from? What's the idea? Well, take it out to a daily and have a look at it. What can we see here? Well, we can see it's been on an aggressive drive up. It's pulled back on itself and it's now starting to move up. Now you could say, oh, hold on a second here, big fella. That's red. That's surely going down. It's pushing the lows of this. Is it? Could well be. Could well be. But you could also say that is pushing the lows of that with a journey to go back to the highs of here. Now, if that's the case, this is just the natural retracement, and what it's actually in is the lower part of a channel. So there's the top part, there's the channel, and it'll come back up, go back down, go back up, go back down, because that's what the markets do. They go up and down. But what I'm looking at is this long tail here. There is an aggressive amount of buying pressure coming into this. It is in the face of a sell, so I agree with that. So I'm going to be very cautious, and I'm only going to be targeting maybe halfway into this aggressive drop. Now again, from there, we can see what the aggressive drop is. There it is. It's a whopper. Boom. Runs out of energy. What have we got? Well, it's just taken out the bottoms of these to possibly push back up. So in and around this area is a good area. So why in here where this section is? Well, because there's a compression here, you know, just there, which coincides with this and the tops of that. So it's somewhere that there's been reactions before, you know, and that's what we want to see, this cluster. And then take it down to the hourly. And then all we have to do is this. Get a retracement on. Down onto there. Showing its hand at 23. And I'm looking to get out probably in and around this area here. Okay. And that's a good trade. You know, I'll be happy with it at 38. But that's the upper side of the target that I'm after. So let's play it out. See what happens. Okay guys, I need the camera to go into a meeting. This is doing pretty much what I'm after. It's ticking along quite nice. We already had money out of this on the other account that I run, which is there. There you are, you can see it, I've already been in, had it out. So I'm quite happy with that. So I'll just monitor that throughout the day. And I'm also mirroring it on this, because what I do when I day trade, whatever I'm doing here, I mirror on my prop, but my prop I'm a little bit more aggressive with it. So this I'm going to let it run up to sort of, well, let's see if we can get a couple £100 out of it. But either way, I'm quite happy. So I'll catch you when I've had my meeting, and if it's finished while I've had it, brilliant. If not, we'll switch the camera on and let it play out. Catch you soon. Okay guys, I'm back. This is ticking along just nice, doing what I want. So let's finish this off, shall we? It's pretty much close to the end now. Okay guys, I've decided to pull the plug on this simply because it looks like it's flushing down. It may well surge up, but I've been paid enough for what I want, but I'll kind of explain where it's coming from. So let's get our tickets out of the way. So always check your orders, make certain that there's an ongoing. 246, I'm happy with that. I'm not greedy, I'm not going mental. Now the other account where we're talking, will kind of highlight where that is, because here it is pushing against the levels that I have key marked, entry exit. It's now pushing away from that. It's paid me well. I'm happy with what I'm doing, okay? More than happy. So what's the moral of the story here? It's always the same. Don't be greedy, guys. Get in, get out. Now, when I was doing this, it said be careful and have a low TP. Now, the reason why it had a low TP is because it could reverse on itself. There's a high probability it was going to push up in the short term, which is what the trade was I was taking. And I traded it into the level, and it stopped dead on it, and it's now pulling away from said level. Now, if that's the case, I don't really want to give away what I've already earned. So take the money when it's offered, and there's nothing to say that I can't re-enter the market a little bit later. Of course I can. You know, that's just common sense. So in essence, less is more. I decided to pull the trade and walk away with my wages. And ultimately, that's what trading is all about. You know, I've recently, today, I had a coffee with Scruff Chat with Juan from Darwin X, and we were discussing return rates. And many years ago when I first started, if you did 15-20% in a year, you're a rock star. And they're of the same belief. Now, most traditional traders, hedge funds, etc., it's between 10 and 20%. In fact, it's about 8 upwards. If you're doing that, you've got a half decent return on investment. And when you look at the things like Vanguard and sort of Hargreaves and things like that, their returns are in and around 10% a year, you know. But in this industry, everybody seems to think it's thousands of percent per month. That's just fucking cuckoo land. Genuinely is. So what I try to show here is consistency. Get in, get out, get paid, stop, do it again tomorrow. Simple as that. Maybe I'm wrong. Drop in the comments and tell me I'm wrong. And if I am, fair play. But if I'm right, I might actually get some of you out of the financial troubles you're in by just applying one thing. Common sense. So I'm going to enjoy my coffee. I'm going to enjoy the rest of the day because it's 11:30. I'm now finished. I've got a little bit of work to do in the house, so I'm going to do that. And that's the beauty of my job. Do what I want, 101. So as always, guys, trade well, keep your risk managed, but above all, do what you love, and the money will follow. See you all in the next one.